Hey boyos, daily check-in with John Vee. It is April 19th, 2026. I haven't rehearsed this at all. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I've been meaning to start drinking again. I have almost a full 40 ouncer here and I've hardly touched it. I became ill a couple weeks ago for like 4 days, and since I recovered from that, I'm just like, I don't want to start drinking, right? I want to make sure I'm fully recovered before I get tanked. So, anyway, this background here, this has got it cleaned up. I tried a virtual background, um, and it doesn't work very well. It makes your outline right blurred, and plus this trash here on the back, this old cot, and that weight bench leaning up against the wall, it doesn't blur out with the background. So a virtual background is out of the question. I'm gonna have to actually move this shit. And I looked into getting some background stuff like a couple plants and a poster, and I went to Walmart, and they didn't have any plants. They don't have any fake plants. And the posters that I wanted from the selection, they didn't have. I looked in those spots, and they were filled with other posters, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I wanted one of the world, right? Just a world poster showing the different continents and their names and stuff. I figured that'd be like office worthy, and they didn't have it. So then there was a guitar one showing different basic guitar chords, and they didn't have it. All they had was like SpongeBob and fucking Dora the Explorer and Dragon Ball Z and bullshit like that for little kids, right? They didn't have any that actually were tasteful and worthy of an office, right? Um, because it's recommended with this job to have a good background setting. And the wall behind me is a little beat up. It should be fine though. It should be fine. But I am gonna have to clean up this mess behind me, like the weight equipment and the squat rack there in the corner, and that old cot and those trashed up boxes and shit, and the old chair I used to use for my computer. Because I have a new one now, like you can see it. It cost me over $100 on Temu, but works out I didn't pay that because I did a credit back promotion to get it. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this job. I did a couple days of training, not even full days, but getting through the first module and doing the practice exam, and it proved to be very difficult. I made two attempts and failed both times. You have to get a 60% to pass, and I was nowhere close there. So I could have literally guessed at the answers and probably scored higher, which is saying something because the majority of the questions try to trick you into giving the wrong answer, and I fell for it every time. And unfortunately, the practice exam pulls from a very large pool of questions. So you can't just take the practice exam, memorize the answers, and then take it again and answer the questions with the answers that you gave before, right? Or that you memorized. Unfortunately, but I called Abigail, and she's the regional manager for the company, and she's the one who did my interview, and she's likely getting a nice commission bonus for um, me signing up for the training and eventually the exams, and probably any reattempts at buying the training and exams if I fail multiple times. Because if you fail several times at one of the exams, you have to buy the whole training course again and the exams. So she's probably getting a very healthy commission bonus from all the new hires when they come into the company and they buy the training material. So that's actually a good thing because I plan to stay with a company like that. I don't want to work somewhere like McDonald's or Walmart and have my dream be to become a manager and get a 50-cent raise. That's just bullshit, right? I don't want that for myself. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just stay on disability and scrape by and actually have time to do things I like doing, like playing computer games, and hopefully eventually pursuing an active lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. I'd rather do that than work a minimum wage job for the rest of my life and hardly pay the bills and have most of my waking life devoted to a job, right? That's just bullshit, right? But I am technically disabled because of my mental health. But this whole thing with the life insurance salesman, um, it came up unexpectedly, and I was like, I'm gonna try my hand at a job again. Who knows? And this, I think, is it. This is the thing that's gonna make me or break me. If this doesn't work out, I'm probably just gonna resign myself to a rotting lifestyle as a NEET for the rest of my life, and literally just scrape by, buying the bare necessities, paying the rent, buying cigarettes, buying the occasional 40 ouncer of alcohol, and try to get into housing, and maybe eventually pick up a casual job for like 6 or 8 hours a week just to supplement my income. But if I don't make it, if I don't make it at this job, I'm gonna rot. I'm just gonna rot. I'm not even gonna attempt to find a girlfriend. Like it might happen, but I had big dreams with this job, and hopefully it works out. If it works out and I make even remotely what I think I could make, it will completely transform my life and give my life new meaning and give me a purpose in life. And I will actually start doing things to improve myself and improve my life, right? Because, you know, and of course, then housing will be out of the question. I'll have to get my own place because housing will take 40 or 30% of my income as rent. And if I do happen to make, a couple 100,000 a year, they'll be taking 60, 80,000 as rent, and that's unacceptable. I can actually get an upscale place or even at my own house. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Like, if I got my first few sales in the bag and got my first paycheck and found out it was like $6,000 or $8,000 in 2 weeks, I'd be like, yeah, I've made it. I'm set. That has not happened yet, so I'm getting ahead of myself. I have high expectations for this job, though. Very high expectations. I really hope it works out. I have a lot of naysayers on the MISC telling me, oh, it's a scam. And, people in real life even telling me it's a scam. And it's not a scam, right? They have to make money from something, obviously, right? Obviously, a job can't be just putting out money to their employees and not having money come in, right? It just doesn't make sense, right? It's not McDonald's. This is a sales company, right? And selling life insurance, right? They have to get money from somewhere to pay their agents, right? Um, and MISC. Some of you will say MISC is always right, and MISC. It seems like MISC is usually not right, not at all, right? And the main demographic of the MISC seems to be schizophrenics, right? And obviously everyone on the MISC is a land chad making 500K a year with rental properties, and they all have an 8-inch dick, and they're all, but they all happen to be really bad looking for some reason, um, right? Probably because it's so easy to call people out on the way they look. They get them to post a picture, and you see that they're nothing special to look at all. So the main demographic of the MISC is they're really bad looking, and they have an 8-inch dick. They make 6 figures, and they're a land chad. And yeah, that ain't me. You know, I know my place, and I'm not a Chad anymore. I don't have an 8-inch dick. I don't make a 6 figure income, and a lot of those things, I'm exactly the opposite. 5-inch dick, right? I'm a 3 out of 10. Like, I'm quite bad looking, and overweight, fat, and ugly, and balding, and middle aged, and I don't get treated like a creeper though, and like in real life, fortunately. I've known guys that were, compared to what I look like now, way worse looking than me. Way worse looking than me. And, they're in creeper territory. They're a bit older than me, about as overweight as I am. And they're in the creeper territory. For some reason, I'm not. I never get, labeled as a creep in real life for some reason. Though other adults don't seem to respect me very much. Adults that I know really well personally don't respect me. Strangers tend to respect me a lot better than the people I know. Maybe that's the same with everybody, but yeah. But yeah, boys, like I said, I didn't rehearse this video or what I was going to talk about at all, so I just ramble. I might do some drinking tonight and stay up till 3 a.m. Right? That's typically what I seem to be doing is staying up quite late, 3:30, 4 a.m. Um, that's the neat lifestyle. That's the rotting lifestyle. I never call myself an incel because I'm not, right? And Misk would have me believe that everyone who's bad looking is an incel, and that's not the case. An incel is a man who's never had a girlfriend, though he wants one. And I've had girlfriends, and kind of wish I didn't because, it's just women. Yeah, women are something else, right? But yeah, I have plans for the money. If I actually make a killing at this job, I plan to start a TRT level dosage of steroids just to bring me up to acceptable levels. A quote unquote therapeutic dose, right? Just the bare bones of it, something that'll cost $400 for a cycle, nothing crazy, not some advanced cycle that's $10,000 a month, right? That would kill me. With my heart the way it is, that would enlarge my heart, and that would be the death of me, right? And also, I'd want to book a flight overseas and have a hair transplant. That could completely turn my life around. And also, I'd want to get on some new generation Ozempic equivalent weight loss drugs to lose weight the lazy way. Because nobody wants to fucking go out and walk several hours a day and diet and feel like they're starving all the time. Nobody wants to do that. I'll do it if I have to eventually, but I don't want to do it right now. And of course, drugs, putting out $10,000 for 6 months or a year's worth of drugs to lose weight, I'm willing to do that if I have the funds. Obviously, with my financial situation, none of these things are going to happen. None of them. The TRT level dosage of steroids could happen. That's reasonable. Hair transplant, not so much. Weight loss drugs, not so much. Um, if things really take off, I'm going to look into getting a really nice vehicle. And if they really take off and I'm making, 400K a year, which is not off the table, I would look into buying a millionaire house in a millionaire neighborhood. Something with a paved driveway and brick fence exterior that's like 8 feet high or 7 feet high or 9 feet high, to keep people out, keep deer out and all that stuff. And, I'd want to have some animals, although in a millionaire neighborhood, maybe you can't. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'd stay living around here or not. I mean, rural Nova Scotia it's not an upscale place. I mean, everywhere you go, there's going to be the millionaire next door type that you just don't know is a millionaire, right? But around here, there's a lot of old people, and a lot of them are probably getting their old age pension, and that's only a couple thousand a month generally, or a bit more if they're getting their partner's old age pension when they died, something like that, right? But I don't know a lot of very well-to-do people. I don't know very many. Around here, it's everybody scraping bottom, just getting by, and I don't want that to be me. I don't want that to be me. In the past, when I was much younger, I had people occasionally tell me, I could see you living a really high maintenance, high status lifestyle, and I was like, why is that? And they say you just seem like a really high class person, and a lot of it was because I was in shape, I was attractive. That's all it was, and I generally composed myself really well around others, right? And when you're attractive and in shape, you can come off as an idiot, and people will still think you're coming off positively because you're attractive and in shape, right? You know, being in shape and being attractive accounts for a lot. Um, the respect I do have online, it's mostly because I have really good speaking skills. I have a really good voice. I have a lot of experience with speaking uh, on camera, right? So that's what a lot of it is. Like a lot of you boyos, I've seen you on camera and making a video and speaking, and I would swear you were autistic or retarded. Like Cormo, I could swear he's got something mentally wrong with him because I've seen him on camera a couple times, and he must have been faking it. He had to have been faking it because nobody can really be that retarded. Nobody can be. But maybe he is. Maybe he is. Like, he seems to compose himself really well in threads when he's replying to something or making a thread. But you get him on camera, you would think he was mentally handicapped and retarded or low IQ or all of the above, right? I don't think I come off as that way in threads on the MISC or on camera, but that's to be expected because of my sales experience and call center experience from home, right? And if it was solely my voice, I would probably be a bit more charming, but because you can actually see me, like you can see that I'm not a very attractive man anymore, right? But enough of that. Um, I am thinking I might take a trip to the dollar store tonight. It's literally like a 3 minute walk down the street to the dollar store, and I typically get the same things every time. I'll get either a small bottle of Pepsi or a small bottle of orange or apple juice, not orange juice, apple juice, and a big bag of ketchup, Lay's ketchup chips, and either 2 cans of spaghetti and meatballs or 2 cans of Irish stew. And any of you boyos who live in Canada, you know what Irish stew is. In the can, it's good fucking stuff. Good fucking stuff. But I have a call. It's my mother calling, and I don't know what the fuck she wants. She might be coming over. So I'll leave it at that. That's my ramble for the day, and I'll see you guys on the MISC and online on Elysian Fields and Needs.net.